having a salon, and let's talk to like salon owners or the people in the salon making the decisions. What is it for them? What drove you to start changing your perspective on all of this? And how did you make it worthwhile in your salon? Welcome to the Green Beauty Community Podcast, where we're making sustainable beauty the new standard. I'm your hostess, Jacquelyn Rodriguez, and in each episode, we dive deep into the world of eco-friendly beauty, sharing insights and tips and inspiring stories from industry leaders and innovators. Whether you're a beauty professional or enthusiast, join us as we explore how to make the beauty industry kinder to our planet without compromising on quality or style. Let's create a more beautiful world inside and out. All right, welcome back to the Green Beauty Community. I'm your hostess, Jacquelyn Rodriguez, and today I have two very special guests with us, Anthony and Gloria Edge, and they have been in the industry for a long time, doing amazing things, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell us all about it.
Hi, my name is Gloria Edge, and I am the founder and creator of Edge Academy in San Diego, and as well as Stitch Hair Care in San Diego. And this is Anthony Edge.
Okay, hi everybody. It's an absolute pleasure to be on. Like Gloria said, my name's Anthony. I am the creative director behind Edge Academy. Edge Academy is a hairdressing academy here in San Diego. We established that 6 years ago. And it's for hairdressers who have got a license. So it's not a cosmetology school, it's more of an advanced school. So if you're a hairdresser out there, you've got a license and you want to come on a 1 day, 2 day or 3 day class, we mainly focus on hair cutting. We bring out new collections, new ideas. We have lots of different classes, so you can come and check us out at our academy. And then we also launched our very own hair care line, which we're really proud and honored. We're a year and a half in with our new product line. It's called Sitch. It's short for situation. So what's your hair situation? It's the first ever hair care line globally to be 100% refillable. So that's why we're on here today to share with that, that clean, sustainable, new way of thinking with the hair care movement.
So I've been in, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is so exciting because me personally, in my salon, we have a refillery. So that whole aspect of refilling and just seeing what we can do differently with professional products, like, is very exciting to me. So I can't wait to dive into all of that.
Cool. Well, I was just going to say, as a hairdresser myself and a salon owner for, almost 20 years, one of the first salons I had was right on the beachside town. So, like having that, eco-friendly and environmentally conscious, ethics has been, great ingrained in the DNA since the very beginning of my career. So, having a sustainable way to have to offer our clients and to be in the industry. I'm just really surprised that we haven't done it. I'm not seeing more of that in the beauty and hair industry. We see that so much in the food industry and different household items. You're already offering refills, but how come the beauty industry isn't offering that? And did you know that, only up to 33% on a good day of things are being recycled?
Yes.
So, that's a huge problem because we're creating all this waste and, we just needed to find a solution for it.
Yeah. So I'm not boasting on my career, but, I've had a great career. I've done 35 years behind been an educator. You can tell by my accent, I'm not originally from the US. I'm from England. But my background was I was a creative director for Tony and Guy in London. And then I obviously came over here 18 years ago to the US, and I'm a full-time educator. Last year I won Hairdresser of the Year in America. This year I've just been voted 100 of best hairdressers in America. So I've got quite a lot of accolades behind us. And, a lot of brands have come to me and said, we'd love you to come and work for us or represent our brands. And no disrespect to some of those brands, but it just didn't feel a good fit for me and Gloria. We've got a little girl, 8-year-old, and we just want to leave the world a better place. And we just felt like the biggest problem is plastic waste. Outside the food industry, the biggest plastic waste is the beauty industry. And like Gloria just said, can't believe that there's not a lot of brands doing this, being a refillable. So we're all about refill, not landfill. And, we save plastic waste by 85%.
That's phenomenal. So I want to ask, like, what do you think is the biggest reason why things haven't started to move that way? I have my own ideas, but what do you think is the basis behind it all?
So I think one of the theory is it's not simple enough, like it takes too many steps, or the word greenwashing, like things sounds good, like marketing wise, but is it really that good? It's like, for example, like, I mean, our bottles are made of 100% PCR plastic. So for those of you who don't know what PCR means, it's post-consumer recycled plastic. So in the life before that, it's already been a plastic bottle. This is recycled material. So we're not using new plastic for our packaging. And one of the problems is we see like other brands are like green or environmentally friendly. They're using glass or like ceramic. And we've been asked this question, like, how come we're not doing that? But like, okay, so it actually takes way more energy to, create a glass bottle than a plastic bottle. And when you're shipping, like if you're looking at the full life cycle of, recycling and shipment and all of that, it actually costs more carbon footprint to use a glass bottle or, use something else. So we just wanted to like make sense and make things simple by like doing the heavy footwork as, a manufacturer or creator of a brand by making things as simple as possible. Our pouches, I know some brands are doing pouches, but not all pouches are created the same either, because a pouch normally is created with, aluminum, and there's actually a lining that's like a nylon lining and stickers, and you have to bring it to a recycling plant for them to actually be able to recycle the thing. So we just don't want things to just sound good. We want things to be actually good, not just sounds good in theory, but in function. So our pouch is 100% recyclable. All you have to do is fill up the bottle, and you just put it in the blue bin. One step.
Awesome.
So when you make things as easy as possible, as sensible as possible, as realistic as possible, people will do it. But if you make it like so many steps, people are not going to do it.
Well, because we are living in such a fast-paced world, and we've already had so many products and things pushing us towards just being faster and faster and throwing away a lot of things. So we're in that mindset, and it does take someone. I think education's a huge part of it because we don't know what we don't know. In my salon, we talk so much about education of what is the difference between glass and plastic and all of these, right? And I think that there is a place for all of it, because the fact is we've got a ton of plastic that needs to be upcycled, recycled. We've got, what glass does, and, not going into the details of all of that, but there is a place for everything. And the biggest thing is teaching our guests, our stylists, our salon owners, what that is, and starting to create some more demand that they're willing to take maybe an extra step or two because they know the benefits then. I think that's such a huge piece that is kind of missing because people just don't know. My clients simply had no idea that you don't just throw everything in the recycle bin and that not everything is actually recycled.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to like a sense of reinforcement as well and reward, because like for people to care, you need to make it make sense to them that it benefits to them now, not like 50 years later when they're not around anymore. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So we created this line. We've made a commitment to make recycling and, reusing your bottle makes sense. So say our products that comes in a bottles retail for $38, but our pouches are $5 cheaper because you only buy the bottle once. So that creates that instant reward and gratification to encourage a consumer to like, hey, you save money by refilling your bottle. So I think, we can't change people's mind overnight, but we can do that by like adding reinforcement and reward. and just like training them to do that, or just like, think deeper.
Yeah, for sure. So when having a salon, and let's talk to like salon owners or the people in the salon making the decisions. What is it for them? What drove you to start changing your perspective on all of this? And how did you make it worthwhile in your salon?
Okay, so I'll answer this one. So what it comes down to, it's like obviously being an educator and going around, and as you know, you're a hairdresser. There's a lot of brands out there, a lot of products.
Yeah.
There's a new product coming out nearly every month. Yeah, and there's different avenues people can buy. They can go online. They can go it through professional beauty salons. Because we're hairdressers, we wanted to keep it professional. We didn't want to go down a third-party website. We didn't want to go and compete with hair salons. So we're really about the hairdresser. We're all about bringing business back into that hair salon. So we don't compete with the salon. So a salon would purchase our brand, and then they obviously recommend it to a client. The client then has to go back and buy their refill. They're educated. We have an academy that they can come to as well. But why did we want to do something clean and start it off? Is we just felt like there's so many brands out there who have too many products. The average product line in a hair salon in 2024 is 180 products. That's an average product line is 180. There's some product lines out there at 240 products. They have 8 hairsprays. I've been a hairdresser for 35 years. I need 2 hairsprays. I need a lightweight one and a firm one. I don't need
I
8.
need one. I just bring it a little bit further away.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
That's a good idea. But that's where it's getting to. It's like, Sitch is great for any size salon. If I have got a studio and I work on my own, if I've got a salon, I've got 50 staff, Sitch will fit in both of those salons. And what's been successful for us so far is because we are clean, we are refillable, and we only have 9 products. It's 9 products where it's doable for any business owner to have 9 products, support, imagery, education. And then what the 9 products do is you can cocktail them to make 25 products. So every single product is cocktailable. And why that is because we didn't go to a hair care lab to make our products. I went to a lot of hair care brands who make products, and they were trying to give me old formulas or old brands, and said you have this formula. It was very successful for this other brand 10 years ago. You can maybe change the scent or maybe take a couple of ingredients out, but that's all you can do. So we were having no success of early stages of getting this brand out. So we went to a skincare lab. Skincare labs are a lot harder to make products because skin's alive and hair's dead. Skin labs have to be FDA approved. The raw materials and the machinery have to be a little bit more higher standard. So we went to a skincare lab and said, "Have you ever made a hair care product?" And he went, "No, never." So I said, "Can you give us 12 months and see if you can play around with this?" So that's how we made Sitch. So it's made in a skincare lab. It's the only hair care product they make. And that's where the quality of the ingredients is there. And then we can cocktail it to make 25. So we wanted to keep it smaller, 9 products, cocktail to 25. And if we can't refill it, we won't make it. And we're sticking to that. A lot of people are like, "Where's the hairsprays? Where's the aerosols? Where's this?"
There's enough out there.
There's enough out there already. And all of a sudden you turn around and you say, "Oh, we're a clean beauty line," but then all of a sudden we have loads of aerosols. That's not clean. So for me and Gloria and Tallulah, our daughter, we want to keep it as like, it's a refillable, clean beauty line.
And that's a really, really important line, that you're staying true to your vision and your mission. Because I teach in my academy with my students, like how to actually search out and look for your brands. Because you mentioned earlier, Gloria, greenwashing. It is unfortunately really big. And when I'm going and I'm changing lines or bringing a new line on, and I am looking to who is going to align with my values, that's the type of thing I want to hear. Someone who is actually going to stand behind their product, and not only behind their product, but not change ways down, you know, after they've gotten successful. We've seen too many brands like get bought out, and you can't have this huge brand, a clean brand and sustainable brand, and then have aerosols and all of these crazy things. Like, it does boggle my mind. But as a salon owner, and if you're listening, you know, and you're looking for products, whether you go with them or not, it's how do you actually look at the values behind the company? And when I looked at your website, like, it screamed that, right? And you see that. And when you're talking about it, you're making sure that it is the exact thing that you stand behind. You're not going to change those values. And that's when salon owners, when you're looking at this, see who aligns with you and then go deeper. Don't just let it be that surface, like look at a bottle and see that there's, you know, no parabens, no sulfates, you know, or that it is in a they talk about recycling, but like, what is it deeper? And I just love that part of it that you said. That just sparked my interest, because a lot of salon owners just don't know like what to do or how to choose a line.
Yeah. And I agree. It's like, I've been in the industry a while, and then, I remember years ago, like when people said sulfate free, and I was like, what's that? I didn't know what it was like 10 years ago. And now, and then all of a sudden people saying the word organic. That is very misleading word, because organic in hair care world, you can have one ingredient in there saying organic, and then all of a sudden,
work for brands like that.
I've worked for brands like that, and they say it's organic, and I'm like, is it? It needs to be in the fridge and it's going to go off. Or it's
Yeah.
like, we live in the US, and I buy organic milk from Costco, but it goes off in 4 months. I don't get it. I honestly don't get how organic that is. If it's organic, it's going off in 3 days, and it's going to be a yogurt. There is fillers in there, and it's great what you're saying. Go down the ingredient road and see what's inside there, and don't mislead people, or like Gloria said, greenwashing.
Time will always tell the truth, and like for us, we're not knocking, hairspray or dry shampoo. Like, I am a fan. I use dry shampoo religiously every week. But for our company, where we stand, we've made that commitment to not do that, because like we spend so much of our time working. That's our legacy, and our daughter. I mean, family is so important to us. Everything we do, we want to make sure what we do, we're leaving a legacy that is built with, integrity and truth. We want to build something that, our child would be proud of. Like, hey, my mom and dad did that. It wasn't easy, but they stood by it.
Yeah.
That's really all we want to do. It's just to build something with honesty and integrity and stick by it.
Yeah. And it's done well. We've only just launched it, and we've won. We got nominated last year for Sustainable Champion in the Beacon Awards. We got to the final. And why they nominated us is because we were the first ever hair care line to be 100% refillable. As we know, there's brands out there doing refillable, but we do all 9 products are refillable. Then this year we won the Oscars of packaging in the Dye Line Awards. So we've got Best of Show. And then we are at the moment pending B Corp. So officially next year we will be a B Corp line. This is what it really means to us. We really want to make sure that we are doing good and we're leaving the world a better place.
Yeah, and it shows. Now, personally, I haven't tried the products. That will change very soon, right? But the thing is when we're looking at standing up for what you believe in, and also going from being a hairstylist to owning a salon and pushing through that vision and creating your academy, creating this product line. Like, walk me through a little bit of those steps. So for anybody who's out there, like maybe thinking about their own brand or their own academy, or, even going into salon ownership, what were some of the struggles that you came across and that you were able to overcome getting to that step?
All right, so Gloria is more on the salon. I've never owned a salon. So yeah, I don't know if you want to open this
Just thought of one thing as you were like, kind of introducing this question, but it's something that I never really thought about, but it just really clicked in my head right now. Is that like the first thing I wanted to change is just like the perspective on, just like hairdressing as a career. Like people think that like hairdressing is like a last choice career or a second chance, they look so down on it, like, oh, I'm a hairdresser, like I'm only a hairdresser. But I just think that is such a false narrative. Like hairdressers can like make so much money, you can have such a successful career and you touch so many people's lives. Like we should be proud of being hairdressers. And hairdressing as a business is a wonderful business. It's a sustainable business, it's an economy-proof business, and we need to bring that back, and like remind hairdressers and hairstylists and salon owners that and like kind of, times like such as this, recession, like there should be no fear.
Everyone needs a haircut. Everybody, maybe a color might grow out a little bit, but everybody needs a haircut. It's like how many people when salons were closed down for a year, COVID, they were still desperate to get a haircut. People, celebrities, iconic people still had that trim up wherever they did it. And then for education wise, I've just seen that grow quite a bit, obviously leaving a big corporate company and then going independent and doing our education. People love education, but it's got to be good quality. It can't be it just can't be like, no disrespect to social media or I've got millions of likes and I'm just gonna
haircuts on YouTube. That's not enough.
That's not enough.
That's not good enough.
Yeah.
You need more.
So, for me, it's kind of like, it's got to be good quality education. So our education's really up there. We have an educational team. I won Hairdresser of the Year last year in America. So I got that title. So, that's, we have a great team of educators here in San Diego. And we bring out a new collection of haircuts each year. So we're always got new content. So if someone says, what is your class? Well, you're going to learn these haircuts. Now I'm a cutting specialist. So the last time I did color was probably 35 years ago through a cap. So it's a long time ago since I ever did color.
Things have changed just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But for me, it's, I know what my strengths are. I'm a cutter. I travel all over the world doing hair and cutting. And we opened our academy. It was hard at first because you come away from a corporate world and then you're like, okay, I'm used to doing shows for like 300 or 400 people. Then all of a sudden we opened our academy and we had 4 people turn up and we're like, woohoo! And then you build a reputation. And we have some of the big salon groups who send all their team to us now. So the education is growing strength to strength. And then it was like a natural progression to bring out a product line to go with our education. Because I was going to salons and some salon owners were like, oh, I wish you was with this brand because I could use my points for you to come in and do the education. So then why can't we link our own brand with our education? So that's what it is really. It's like Sitch kind of supports our academy. And then our academy then can go into salons.
Add something, Anthony. I just feel like so much of what you do is not just hair cutting, is that you making like the time behind a chair worth more.
Yeah.
Because we only work behind a chair like 8 hours on a good day when you're in your 20s, like, you don't have so much time to make this much amount of money. But what your education really brings to is just like really like realistic haircuts that you help the stylist create great haircuts in like, simplified ways, that only an expert can do, like it takes you years of like cutting hair to an educating artists and understanding how they learn to break it down to bite-sized pieces so that they can retain that knowledge to create a amazing looking bob in 15 minutes, not cutting corners, but just doing things effectively. So like I think these things are like a huge why of what you do and what's driving like more people to come to our classes. Because over and over again, salon owners are sending students to us because you see like, wow, like this this hairdresser came back being able to like confidently do a haircut
on the shop floor again.
On the shop floor, and like really like that hour, instead of just like taking an hour and a half to do a haircut, they can do 2 haircuts. And it's not about like speed, but it's just like, maximizing, what you have. And also with Stitch, that being like a product that it is, you know, you want to bring back that like element of expertise as well back behind the chair. Because like, you know, clients are really savvy now.
Yeah.
You know, we can't pull over their eyes anymore. They know what's up. You know, a lot of times I get inspired by my clients. So they're in the know.
Yeah.
And like, unless we're bringing something new to show them that they can't get anywhere else, like they can get it anywhere else,
Yeah.
you know, and that's really what makes Stitch really different is the fact that, yes, it's a simple line with 9 amazing products. However, you can create, you know, 25 with the 5 core styling products, but it all comes down to the expertise of the stylist. Because some people will use 2 pumps of the curling lotion and 1 pump of leave-in treatment to create something for just this person, for Susie's hair, you know, and for Amanda's hair, you need, you know, 3 pumps of, you know, volumizing spray and 1 pump of smoothing lotion to create an amazing blowout. That's something a client can't get on their own, and they have to come back to the hairdresser, you know, to get that
formula.
Yeah, to get the juice.
Yeah. Well, that part of it is so incredibly important because, like you said, there's a multiple things that you said in there, right? With hairstyling and being a hairstylist is so much more than just a secondary, you know, oh, I didn't go to college, so I did this, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is so much bigger because I believe wholeheartedly that we have a huge part in our clients' lives where once we, and this is why I have my academy teaching sustainability and clean ingredients and like building a whole unique ecosystem for that, right? Because once we teach them how to cocktail their products, how to just even recycle and look for different clean products and look for ingredients and what is the basis behind sustainability and how they can make a change. Like we have so much power behind the chair to actually make huge impact in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's so underrated and taking the advanced education, learning how to cut more efficiently, learning how to do colors more efficiently with better products, learning how to recycle in your own home and use products that are going to stand for those values. All of that is that continued education. And I love that that's what you're doing. And the more we get this out there, the more I think that we'll start to see this is becoming the normal rather, you know, than,
Yeah,
you know, up and coming. Yeah, exactly.
It's just all about educating, you know, like
Yes.
the more we're educated as a stylist, then the more it becomes more confident and the client trusts, you know, like if you do a consultation and you understand the haircut or the color, the client's going to go, yeah, I'll do that. And then you understand the product, and it all comes down to like believing in what you're talking about instead of winging it. I've heard a lot of the younger generation, like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to wing it. And I'm like, okay, good luck, you know, but it's, you know, for me, it's, you know, it's, I'm a train of thought was going, but yeah, but, you know, what I love about our industry is, you know, as a hairdresser, you can you know, you touch your clients so many different ways. You know, you might meet them and then they get married, then they have children, then you're seeing them in different parts of their life. You know, I remember when I was working behind the chair, you know, cut a kid's hair, and then all of a sudden I see her graduate, then I see her get married, then I see her get a kid. You know, you're very much involved in their life, and you need to educate them and you know, share them. Do different haircuts, and clients, like Gloria said, are very educated now from the social media, from internet. They can easily Google and find out what's in the ingredients and like that. Years ago in my day, people would come to the hair salon to what's the latest haircut, what's the latest color, what's the latest in fashion, because as you know now, it's fashion month. It's just been New York Fashion Week, it's London Fashion Week as we talk. It's really happening. But I remember when you had to wait to like buy the magazines to look at Fashion Week, but now it's on the internet. You know, like,
Yeah,
but
they
people
come into
like,
us
you know,
asking.
yeah, or like you go to a salon and you're like, what's this music? This is so cool. And it'd be like, it's the latest music from Europe. You know, but nowadays you can go on Spotify and get anything now. So it's funny how it's changed. For me, it's like, yes, creativity is around there, but we have to still keep pushing ourselves. Clients don't come to a boring hairdresser. Clients don't want an old-fashioned haircut. They want to, if we don't give clients choice from a product to service, they're going to give us a choice. They'll go somewhere else. Clients are looking for clean beauty products. Market research says, what is the biggest trend at the moment? Sustainable, clean. So if a salon owner is listening and you don't offer this, and you've got other brands out there and you're not offering a clean line, this is something that you might need to revisit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about educating yourself. In this industry, the more that you educate yourself and you get out of the box of the traditional education that we had, the more that you're going to be able to offer something very unique in your, whether it's your salon or just behind the chair. And that is incredibly powerful. So, I mean, I could just talk to you guys forever. That's why I love the podcast, right? As you can see, I'm a talker and I love having amazing guests like yourself. So thank you for everything that you're doing. And it's making such a big difference. So I really appreciate that. We're definitely going to have all your information in the show notes, but share with us, like, where's the best place to contact you, to get in touch with you, learn more about everything that you're doing?
I think the best thing would just be give us a follow on Instagram at stitch.hair. We're quite active on there, with our DM is always blowing up, with questions. And we just love to connect with, stylists and other hairdressers that way. So
love it. Okay. So we'll have that connected for sure. And leave us with one thing, like, in the world of sustainability, like, what is the number one tip or something that you have for our hairstylist salon owners listening?
I think the answer would be have to answer, when people ask you why. So we know when you're making a choice, know why you're making those choices, because people will ask. And if you just give like a dumb answer, or answer that you didn't really think through, people will know. So, just stand for something, even if it doesn't have to be like everyone's, answer, but just have an answer, So I love what you're doing, educating hairdressers of, what brands to choose, what to look for, all of that. That will help them find that answer they should have. So yeah, that would be have the answer.
Thank you. Yes. And that is such an important part of learning your roadmap, like where you actually want to go and what's important to you. Because I started off with just ingredients.
Yeah.
Now, many years later, it's the sustainability, it's everything. But what is the number one thing that is most important to you right now, and stand behind it and then be able to answer that question. So yeah, beautiful.
Because everyone has their own different things.
Yes.
Like some people will look into a product because of price point, scent, ingredient, packaging, so everyone's going to have their own thing, family owned, US, it's people's like, oh, it's made in the US, people like that sometimes. Education and support behind it,
Yeah, B
like
Corp.
Yeah, B Corp. So
certifications. Yeah.
So
those are all very huge.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute honor to meet you and to be on your podcast.
Thank you so much for being on here, for all the amazing work you're doing. And everyone listening, thank you for tuning in again. Make sure that you go in and follow Stitch and all of their amazing journey, and come back next week for the Green Beauty Community Podcast. Perfect. Thank you for tuning in to the Green Beauty Community Podcast. We're on a mission to make sustainable beauty the new standard, and we need your help to make it. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast and share with your friends. Every listener helps spread our mission of sustainable beauty. Want to do more? Visit greenbeautycommunity.com to join our community, volunteer your skills, or to make a donation. Your support in any form helps us create a more beautiful and sustainable future for the beauty industry. And remember, together we can transform beauty for ourselves and for our planet. Until next time, stay green and stay gorgeous. This podcast was brought to you by a generous grant by InnerSense Organic Beauty.